So recently, there have been lots of takes going viral from CJ Stroud on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast, a few of which included former Packer Aaron Rodgers. And James Jones was on Colin Cowherd's podcast and responded to one of these. And so here is the take from CJ Stroud. He was asked, would you rather take Eli Manning's career or Aaron Rodgers' career? And he says Eli Manning's career. He says the reason is because he'd take the 2 rings over Aaron Rodgers' 1 ring. So on the one hand, I get it, because maybe if he says I'll take Aaron Rodgers, people would say, what, do you care more about, MVPs and your own personal accolades than, the team Super Bowls and team wins, those kinds of things. So I get CJ Stroud going with Eli Manning, and if all your, if your whole goal in the NFL is to win championships, which I think is most people's goal, then I get why he would say such a thing. So, I mean, there's no doubt Aaron Rodgers was a much better quarterback than Eli Manning. You just have to look at the stats. But here's what James Jones had to say about this on Colin Cowherd's show on FS1. So let's listen here to former Packer receiver James Jones.
With all due respect to Eli Manning, because I believe Eli Manning was a good quarterback in our league, you cannot mention Aaron Rodgers' name in the same sentence you mention Eli Manning's name. They are not even close as players. You are talking about a 5-time All-Pro to 0.
True.
For Eli. You are talking about a Super Bowl champion in Aaron Rodgers and a 4-time MVP. Look at this graphic. Now, I know CJ is talking and he's on a podcast, but I'm sure if CJ seen this graphic, he would change his answer, because this is absolutely crazy. We have a guy that is going to walk into the Hall of Fame.
In the graphic he's showing right now is comparing Aaron Rodgers' stats and Eli Manning's stats. And you can see Aaron Rodgers overall wins 148 and 75. 148 wins, 75 losses. Eli Manning 117 and 117. Completion percentage, Aaron Rodgers 65.3%, Eli 60.3%. Touchdown to interception ratio. This one's pretty wild. Aaron Rodgers 475 touchdowns, 105 interceptions. Eli 366 touchdowns, 244 interceptions. Passer rating, Aaron Rodgers 103.6. Eli Manning passer rating 84.1. MVPs 4, Eli 0. All Pros, Aaron Rodgers 5, Manning 0. Pro Bowls, Aaron Rodgers 10, Eli Manning 4. So I think clearly Aaron Rodgers had a better career when you look at his stats and the way that he played and his pure talent, pure production from him as a quarterback. And Eli Manning does have more Super Bowls. So he has that one over Rodgers. I do think that if you look at the defenses the Packers had in lots of Rodgers' time, they at times were pretty bad. And if you look at an interesting stat I found, I think it was last year, is that Aaron Rodgers' teams averaged more points per game in the playoffs than Tom Brady, but Tom Brady always had top-tier defenses, which Aaron Rodgers did not have. So, do with that information what you will. But let's hear more of James Jones here.
And arguably a guy that has 2 Super Bowl rings that people go like this, should he get in? When we talk about a career, you're talking about a Super Bowl champion, a 4-time MVP, and we can recognize and see the numbers that is on this screen.
Yeah, that's fair.
So basically what CJ Stroud is telling me is, give me Trent Dilfer over Dan Marino, because he got one more Super Bowl ring. And give me Joe Flacco over a Dan Marino because he has a Super Bowl. We're talking crazy. Like, if we're truly watching the NFL game, and I know CJ is a student of the NFL game, that is why he is so good.
Yeah.
With all due respect to my guy Eli Manning, we cannot even say the name Aaron Rodgers in that same sentence.
And the truth is that Super Bowls are situational. Eli had 4 elite defensive linemen.
Come on. Because Aaron Rodgers had a top 10 defense how many times, Colin? Once. And how many Super Bowls he got? One.
Yeah.
That's a great point to end with. I mean, imagine if Aaron Rodgers had Tom Brady's defenses. Now let me show you this other take about Aaron Rodgers that CJ Stroud put out there. I responded to it on Twitter. You can follow me at LukeBeller3. But here we have from Ari Meirov. He sort of sums it up. Texans QB CJ Stroud says Matthew Stafford would have 3 or 4 rings if he had been in Aaron Rodgers' shoes all those years in Green Bay. If you gave Matthew Stafford a chance like Aaron Rodgers had, I guarantee you he might have more rings for sure. Let's just listen to this 1-minute clip from CJ Stroud on the million worth of game podcast.
Stafford, hey, Stafford another one, bro. He might be up there with Brady and them, bro.
No, come on.
No,
bro.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
that was
crazy.
crazy.
Okay. Let me go back. Hey, because look, look, dog. Hold on, before you do all this extra shit, I'm a student of the game. Stafford a dog.
He
bro.
is a dog.
No, you don't understand, bro. You saying that? That's all I watch. I don't watch nobody else. I watch Mahomes at times because Mahomes does some stuff that like you can't coach. Stafford, dog, he will beat you with the same thing every time. All that no lick stuff, I got that from bruh. Like literally, that's one of my big. Like I'm a fan of his. Like.
And
When I
he's
go to
a great
LA,
quarterback.
I be trying to find, bro.
But
Like,
it's
we
a
got the
level
same
to
trainers. I
greatness.
be trying to like go to where they working out and just watch.
I feel what you're saying.
That's all I'm
He
saying.
elite, dog.
Like Charles Barkley.
If you hold on. If you give Matthew Stafford a chance like Aaron Rodgers, I guarantee he might have had more rings for sure. I think Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford had more rings.
I mean, I just think that's funny to say because Aaron Rodgers took his team to 5 NFC championships. Sure, he only made it through one time, same as Matthew Stafford, but Aaron Rodgers was consistently taking his team farther than Matthew Stafford. So to say that if Matthew Stafford had been to, 5 NFC championships, he'd probably have more rings. I mean, I don't know because Stafford didn't get to 5 NFC championships like Aaron Rodgers. So I feel like that sort of, shows Aaron Rodgers' greatness, who I would take over Matthew Stafford as well every single day. So CJ Stroud is having some fun here on these podcasts. It sounds like, I mean, he does believe all this stuff like he's saying, I believe. And of course, that's the fun of this. I mean, sports takes, the NFL. Because anyone, like, if you make a top 5, top 10 quarterbacks list, I'd say, depending on the list, I mean, probably 90% of people may disagree with you. I mean, the numbers are high because, of course, everyone has their beliefs about these quarterbacks, ranking them certain spots every single, different every single time. And so that's the fun of this game because, I mean, there's every opinion you could possibly imagine out there. And so it's just fun to talk about all these things. So thank you, CJ Stroud, for giving us this information because it's fun to go back and forth with this stuff. So that is it for this video. If you want more Packers content, subscribe down below. You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram, Luke Beller 3. That is it, and I will see you guys next time.